Hello guys, and welcome to a new WARNO video today by me, Vulcan. In this one I have for you game 1 of a best of 5 between Stahlbrecher and Woeisme in the semi-finals of the Division 1 playoffs of the WARNO League. Today they are playing on Black Forest Duel, and on our left, in the red team, we have Woeisme playing with the 20th Pancerna, and on our right, in the blue team, we have Stahlbrecher using the 5th French Armoured Division. It's been a while since I've covered any WARNO League on the channel. I actually, unfortunately, missed out on covering any of Division 2, but we're back for Division 3, and I thought I'd start at the semi-finals when things are starting to get pretty heated. Both of these players have already shown their mettle in the quarterfinals. Stahlbrecher actually taking out Lathans 2-0 in a best of 3, and Woe beat Dark Neutron 2-1. So yeah, both battle tested and ready to go for a very, very epic semi-final. Let's have a quick look at what these chaps are getting down. So Woe on the left-hand side here, playing with the 20th. He has his special forces leading the charge here, one with the GSR trait there. He's got a couple of the MI2s. These have 23mm autocannons and the WARNO, so good for catching out light targets at the start of the game. Then we've got a nice combination of units here. 2 BMP2s, 2 BMP1s, looks like 2 Per Kiilstofte, 2 Per Kiilstofte with the SVDs, and then we've got T-72M2 Wilk and the T-72M1D. The MI2 on the bottom side as well, so making a lot of use out of these helicopters. Then he's also going to be bringing in the HDGM and a 23mm AA. He's actually just trimmed down his infantry a little bit here to make room for a Cub and another 23mm. Interesting choice. And then the special forces are going to be heading up onto the hill. Over on the side of Stahlbrecher, Dragon Paras, an AMX-10 with an Alouette, and then another AMX-10. Further back, we have multiple of the TRM-2000 Tarask. These are the AA vehicles with 20mm on the back. They've got a couple of Gren voltages, 3 of those, with the marksman rifle, the FR-F1, BAB Mephisto, 2 AMX-30 B2 Brennus, and a P4PC to capture these objectives early on. On the bottom side, Alouette, AMX-10 RC, Grenadier Voltager, and the P4 Milan. So, Stahlbrecher here, not going to be committing to the hill at all. He is sending an Alouette up there just to see what happens, but ultimately is focusing purely on the top side of this map, which is fair enough. Most of the sectors are up here. This is just a one-pointer. If he can take Elena, control both Fedor Anna, then push into Boris, that's where he's going to get his contest and his +1. Whereas for Woe, he's going to be taking control of center Boris and then trying to contest Anna. That's generally the way that things work out on this map. It's a pretty slow map because all of the center objectives are only one-pointers. So we'll see how things go. But at the start here, the Alouette's starting to bump into some of Woe's forces. The Salamandra is a threat to the Alouette because it does have the 23mm. So Woe is going to stop that. Stahl is going to do a runner. So he's pulling away from that as quickly as he can. It goes down to like 1 health. That's crazy. This one also in trouble as it takes a hit from the 23. Bumps straight into the Honker and the Special Forces, gets shot down, but the Mirage F1C, oh, nice double kill there as the Magic 2 hits both targets. Perfect from the Mirage, and that will get out of there with a successful run. So, all of the troops getting into position, although Woe losing these helicopters early on is pretty bad for him because they are worth 70 points each. You know, it's not a small investment to have this many helicopters early on. He's currently diving in towards the town. MiG-21 is going to come in itself and shoot down the Alouettes. Getting rid of the recon helicopters is important just because you do want to secure the skies, but Salamandra there, oh, actually getting taken out by the VAB and its 50 cal. So all 3 helicopters wiped out in quick succession as the Tarask come up and absolutely wipe them out of the sky. So I'd say Stahlbrecher here really getting the better of these initial trades. MiG-21 going to be forced off by those 20 mils, but nothing to really shoot that down altogether. Need something like a Mistral that's actually going to hit that well. So P4 PC has captured Fedor, is now driving down to capture Anna. Center is fully secured. Woe is probably happy that he's just been given that for free. But now we're looking at Stahlbrecher's attack into the center of the map here. That's going to be the important thing to watch out for. Double AMX 30 versus T72s is going to be an interesting matchup. The Wilk here, very strong. 17 front armor, 18 penetration, 65% accuracy with the 1 vet. The AMX 30 B2 Brennis only 10 front armor. So that 18 and 19 penetration between these two T72s is going to be really, really scary. But the VAB Mephisto is going to be able to keep those at range, particularly the T72 M1D, because it only has 2,100 meter range. So the Mephisto is just going to keep moving up, keep forcing that back. And it's going to be really up to Woe to take advantage of the positioning here and try and move up a T72 on the flank or get one of these BMPs on target. Grenadiers have been spotted on the top side. These special forces do have the GSR trait, so they are able to see very well into the tree lines and into these buildings. Su-22 coming in there with the rockets, not quite able to get the shots on target. Interesting to see the Su-22 with the 240mm rockets being used here. Those have been dramatically improved over the life cycle of WARNO. They used to be absolutely trash, but now they do hit the mark. So Gren there, you can see, taking a decent amount of damage from those large rockets. The T72 M1D, oh, nasty hull breach onto the AMX 30 B2 Brennis, takes it down to 4 health. Mephisto does move forwards though, and the Gazelle Hot 2 also going to be taking a shot, but the Su-22 coming in there takes out the AMX 10 RC, fails the hit onto the AMX 30. This does have 50% accuracy on its KH-29T, so not always a guaranteed hit, but easy kill there for the 23mm. Because this is the Jod, it does have that Strela on top of it as well, which certainly helps take out those helicopters very quickly indeed. And for the helicopters that the French are going to be bringing in, it's more than good enough. Now a little bit of a lax in terms of capturing the flags here from Woe, but because he's playing with the 20th Pancerna, his options are a little bit limited. You know, he's got T-72 leaders, he's got BMP leaders, so they're going to take their sweet time to get into position, and all the while that does allow Stahlbrecher to increase his points lead. And the little points leads like this, especially in high tier games, can make all the difference. So not getting a leader in here sooner may be something that Woe regrets later on. But so far, decent engagement for both sides. AMX 30 will need fixing up. And Woe here, he hasn't lost any of his T-72s yet. Now this is something we're going to be watching out for, because as the T-72s continue to build up, it will become more and more difficult for the French player to deal with across the open. Even with units like the Mephisto, they are going to struggle if they ever get into range of the main gun. Nice kill here though, potentially, for the AMX 10. Oh, was that a preemptive smoke there? Saw the enemy aircraft come in, and now, yeah, looks like it was a correct smoke. Gonna be trying to get out of there, but the smoke coming early does mean that the AMX 10 RC doesn't have it for when the AT actually comes in, and the AMX 10 RC does go down. Also, rocket strike there. Was that the cause of the loss of the Grenadier Voltager? It might have been. These airstrikes proving very successful so far for Woe. So artillery now being invested by Stahlbrecher. Apologies for the driver crash. But the Alpha 1 in the game and ready to hit these lighter targets. Like taking out the GSR trait there would be fantastic. Taking out the HGM would be great as well. Or nice land here by the Mi-24 stops the Mirage F1C from being able to complete its work. Alouette, meanwhile, came up over the ridge, did get shot down by the 23mm. But now Mirage coming back round, and Woe, he took it off, so gives the Mirage plenty of chance to get the kill. And I feel like an unnecessary mistake there from Woe. There's no need to take that back off until the Mirage has left, and he will be able to see that in the sky until it does. So yeah, unnecessary. Now we have an interesting engagement here. Commandos, very nasty squad. They have 8 SIGs, 2 mini-me paras. They have special forces and shock trait for 65 points. Then we have the Seppuku. At close range with the TNT, sure, they might be able to beat the commandos, but max range here through the trees, those commandos are going to make short work of that Polish infantry. The supply now arriving for Woe. He's going to make sure his units are fixed up. These are the small trucks. They have like 1,000 supply though, so I guess that's not too small. Going to get this HGM back to full strength, get his recon back to full strength. He's going to want to get his engineers here back up to full strength as well. Now we have a little bit of an infantry push coming in to the middle from Stahlbrecher, using his sappers, his grenadier voltigeurs up against the Woeisme. Nice supported engagement. You know, he's got the Roland 3 here to prevent enemy airstrikes. He's got the AMX-30B2 Brennis, able to use both their main gun and the autocannon to whittle down the forces of Woe. He's also even got the 20mm in range there to engage, and that will do a lot of damage to the infantry. So Woe's got to respect it. Meanwhile, Honka, with its Dushka, actually doing quite a lot of damage to the Grenadiers up in the hills here. Takes them down to 4 men. But that sneaking through could cause issues later down the line if it manages to get to a reinforcing road. The Dana now going to be used. Oh, lovely hit there. Almost takes out the commander, or commando, sorry. T-72 has also got shot onto the MX-30B2 Brennis on the top side. That's going to go down. Both the sappers have gone down as they've pushed forwards. VAB comes forwards, gets taken out by the special forces here. Oh, the P4PC, both of the Woeisme missed their RPGs. And now Stahlbrecher going to be continuing to increase his lead. The Milan 2 snipes the T-72 in the side armor. Big hit there. Mephisto trying to get a shot onto the second T-72. Not quite able to get the work done. Kub is forced forwards to take care of the Gazelle Hot 2. Actually, I guess it might have been the Gazelle that got the shot. Piechota struggling. Really interesting engagements across the top front here. The AMX-30B2 Brennis will be able to clean up those infantry nicely. So Stahlbrecher still somehow managing to keep that P4PC alive for so long, but finally goes down to the HGM. Now HGM has engine destroyed the AMX-30B2 Brennis on this top side. That is a little tragic when those crits really don't go in your favor. He does have the supply ready to try and fix that up. But with the HGM continuing to come in there, and now also the Dana engaging it, it looks like he's just going to save the supply to fix up the AMX-10 RC, as this AMX-30B2 Brennis is a lost cause. In the high level, they're not going to give you a chance to deal with that. Su-22 fires a rocket at the MX-30, but nicely supported. Double Roland 3 now. Makes short work of the Su-22. These are very accurate, 60% accuracy, and very good range as well. 4,425 meter range. Like, it's not as good as like something like a Kub or a Book, but for NATO AA, it's pretty solid, especially with the accuracy that it gives. A nice job there by Stahlbrecher to kind of shut down that airplay a little bit, but has slowly but surely lost his presence on the top. Like, the commandos are dealt with. A couple of AMX-30B2 Brennis have now died. So if any large amount of T-72s comes into play on the top side, that could be really bad news for Woe. But that Jaguar hitting the mark with the AS-30, manages to escape from the book. But the AMX-30B2 Brennis are ready to pounce, and another T-72 leader has fallen. Losing those leaders on the front line like that is very, very risky, because he's going to have a limited amount of leaders throughout the game that can actually contest sectors, and those T-72s are amongst them. You know, you want to have those beefy tanks so that when you actually have pressure to push into your opponent's sectors, they can stay there and sustain artillery fire without getting pushed out so easily. So losing both of those is really, really bad. But more infantry coming in to the top side. If he can fully secure this tree line, there's an argument to be made that he could be able to get a leader into the backside of the sector. Stahlbrecher is getting ready to contest that. You can see he's already brought up a P4 PC as he's feeling the pressure on that top side. He's got to be careful he doesn't actually move that in range of anything that can actually kill it. It does not need to be that far forwards, and he just noticed that himself. More infantry coming in on the bottom side. One thing I really like about this Polish infantry is they're pretty good at close range because of their shock and satchel charge, but they also have an RPG. And whilst the RPG only has 12 penetration, it's really fantastic for dealing with light support vehicles like these TRM 2000s or like VADs, you know, just units with like low armor or no armor. And so the Stahlbrecher can still deal with them pretty nicely. We got artillery coming down here. Looks like he's trying to damage the grenadier voltages, and he's providing smoke for his Stahlbrecher so they can move forwards without being harassed by the AMX-30B2 Brennis. So good to see the smoke play coming out. AMX-10RC does have a chance to shoot them. Wasn't sure if he was actually going to let that fire because it's in a really nasty position. Now the Mi-24 coming straight towards it, looking to take that out as quickly as possible. Not necessarily because it's doing a lot of damage to his infantry, but just because it's a high value target. When you're playing against the French, killing off the AMXs is super, super important. Stahlbrecher knows it's too, and that's why he's brought in the F1C here to try and shut down the Mi-24, but the Su-22 hits both of its R60Ms, and down goes the Mirage. That is huge. I think the Su-22 was also brought in here to deal with the AMX-10. Now Mirage going to try and get revenge, but no luck there. MiG-21 on the scissor, comes round, takes out the Mirage, and both Mirage F1Cs go down. MiG-21 stuck around for a bit too long though. Straight into the Roland 3s. There's now 3 Roland 3s on that top side. Really, really tough for Woe to break down. These are radar, so if he has seed, then that would work out, but I'm not sure that the 20th Pancerna actually gets seed. The Su-22s are pretty good in terms of ECM, but yeah, 3 Roland 3s plus 20 mils is a pretty nasty AA net up here, but extremely vulnerable to a strong T-72 push. Also, on this bottom side, nice snipe there. Sapper's taken out for free by the Stahlbrecher of Woe. That's what I was saying about that RPG. That's just so much value right there. Right, T-72 in trouble, forced to smoke. Mi-24 still in a good position to take that out. Like, even with 1 health, it's still going to be deadly against an AMX-10. Not needed in the end. T-72 M1 gets the job done. But Woe now in a good position in the town. He's going to be able to get a leader in behind this and start to contest. He's also got a good position on the top side, although he's got to get through these new AMX-10RC Sublinders. These guys have 4 front armor, so they're a little bit more tanky, but they are still going to take a lot of damage from something like this HGM. Oh, just smoked in time. Nice Mistral kill though. Takes out the Mi-24 on the bottom side here. So Stahlbrecher trying his best to retain his position here in the town. Commando's just about managing to land in the Super Puma. Gets them into the backside of the town. T-72s. The MX-30s here might be able to take that out if they were to see it preemptively. But if they don't have line of sight, then there's a chance the T-72 might just like be able to take them on one by one. Just like that. Lucky that the T-72 missed there. Oh, Dana. Taking out the Dragon Para. That would be very, very big. That's a GSR trait infantry going down. P4 PC is taken out. AMX-10 now in trouble. And this was the T-72 push that I was talking about that could happen on this top side. AMX-10s holding on for dear life. But the 23mm takes down the Hot 2. One of the AMX-10s gone. Second Hot 2 taken out by the MiG-21. Also a Super Puma taken down there with the commandos inside. Big losses for Stahlbrecher. Yes, both of the MiG-21s went down, but some decent trades, especially taking out key units that Stahlbrecher is going to need to help defend. The T-72 also managing to snipe an AMX-30 B2. Stahlbrecher losing a lot of units there, but the BRDM did get sniped on the backside here. This is what I was talking about with this unit earlier. Left on its own and just snipe this road. And now he's forced to bring in the Mi-2 US to deal with those. Thankfully, his recon helicopters will have machine guns on them, so they can kill off the Grenadier Voltigeur if they find them. But yeah, killing off that leader is huge because now there's nothing that's going to be able to contest this bottom side. It's like one way that Stahlbrecher could stall out and win this game is just by killing off all of the leaders of Woe at this point, because he's lost 2 tank leaders. There was a BMP leader somewhere. That's here. Then he's got BRDM leaders. So once the rest of the BMP 1s and the BRDMs are taken care of, like that's it. You know, he won't be able to capture any more points regardless of how much ground he takes. And that's something you could certainly play into at a high level. For now, Stahlbrecher doing a pretty good job of cleaning out the infantry here. The sappers doing a good job. But the commandos did die, so now the BMPs are pretty much free to engage all this infantry unharassed because the sappers can't damage the BMPs. They don't have AT weapons. So this is a really tough position for Stahlbrecher right now. And on the top side here, the Gren Voltigeurs getting caught out in the open also doesn't help at all. Or Su-22 there not managing to land the AMX-30, but the Roland's not able to land their shots either, so the Su-22 getting away with it. The full control on this top side for Woe. All he needs to do now is get a leader in there. The MP1 is going to be moving down to try and capture the town. But all the while, I mean, Woe is just continuing to develop his position. And really, really strong play by him so far. Getting great value out of the T-72s. Another kill there for the T-72s. Stahlbrecher takes out the remainder of the Grenadier Voltigeurs. T-72 M2 Wilk, the one vet there really paying off with the 65% accuracy, or 55% on the move, to kill the Mephisto. And like the Mephisto is fantastic in a situation where you have your own tanks in front of it, because the enemy tanks will automatically target your tanks, and then the HDGM can just fire freely in the back. But when they're just engaging 1v1, the T-72 just has to drive forwards and shoot it, and that's it. And that's exactly what happened there. Nice kill again by the T-72 M2 Wilk. Another kill onto the AMX-30B2. Another one coming out from this Wilk. Oh, this is just getting worse and worse. No critical mass for Stahlbrecher. Now the 23 is going to take out the Hot 2. But the Hot 2 did manage to take a Wilk with it. I would say that's a big win for Stahlbrecher. Now the AMX-10RC with an opportunity to finish off the Wilk. Not going to find it. As long as that keeps reversing, it's going to be hard for these two to get on target, especially with attack move orders, because they're going to constantly stop, try to aim, and then get out of range. So what you have to do in this situation generally is actually use a move order, get them beyond range, and then fire. But then that does give your opponent a chance, if they're microing well, to fire back with the T-72 in this case. But supply coming up to try and fix up the T-72. Important that that gets killed, otherwise the T-72 just gets back to full health here. AMX-30 is joining though. Might allow Stahlbrecher to make a real push here. You know, if he can kill that T-72 before it fixes fully, then there's not too much to stop him from breaking through on that top side. But now a contest on the bottom is giving a +1 to Woe. Woe's Special Forces here will take out one of the VABs and the second with their RPG. This RPG, pretty decent, 18 penetration. It wants to get away from those grenadier voltages as soon as possible. Or now BRDM slipping into the backside of that sector, and really nothing to stop him from full capping it. The P4PC that was there before has already gone down. BMP2 going to try and launch Conkers from a distance, but T-72 here, oh, coming forwards, that's dangerous. Oh, because there was fire on the ground, it didn't stop. Took a side shot from the AMX-30B2. Took the AMX-10RC Blindee with it. So, pretty good engagement, I suppose. BRDM did manage to full cap before it backed out, so that's good. I mean, we're now seeing a +3 for Woe. But the French forces starting to struggle again. Now the forces towards the town have shifted up to the top side, and this flank into the side of Stahlbrecher's push could prove really, really tough for him to deal with. Stahlbrecher with the AT missile straight into the T-72M, one-shots that. Beautiful strike, gonna hang it around, hope to land another AS-30 into one of these T-72s in the mid potentially. Not really much AA to stop him. I mean, there's a couple Cubs on the backside. Nice angle of attack here. Unfortunately not going to land the shot. Another AMX-30 has gone down. And another. And now the Special Forces zooming up right into range of the AMX-30. Another AMX-30 goes down. That's 3 of them gone. Woe is not giving up the pressure here. This is really, really awesome high-level play. Enjoying watching this thoroughly. BMP2s now being used on the periphery to get shots into the town with their 30 mils, whilst the infantry presses through. And there is just such a numbers advantage here. Woe has also double capped this with 2 BMPs. So really going to be no chance for Stahlbrecher to push him out of there. And Stahlbrecher throws in the towel after 25 minutes and 44 seconds. Woe with the victory, 5,590 kills to 3,725 losses. Pretty much tells the story of this one, where the T-72s were getting so much value. The Wilks here, with that extra one vet, really, really making a lot of difference. Some fantastic airstrikes early on, like the Su-22s coming in, getting a kill, getting out without getting shot down is just so useful. Use of the Dana was consistent as well, so nice kills there, taking out these threats, the Milan 2s. Those can do a lot of damage to his tanks, as we saw when one hit the T-72. I'm pretty sure it was the Milan that killed the T-72. Actually, it was the Gazelle. Okay. So, yeah, in the end, a tough one for Stahlbrecher, but really, really well played. Woe really leveraging his armor advantage to make sure that he could fight over the open on that top side. Fantastic game 1 of this best of 5. Let's see if Stahlbrecher can take one back in the second game. That's all from me for now. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.